Holy smokes, Biden is literally trying to kill real estate, and folks, you know I just sit in the middle. I don't give a crap about left or right. I just want to see what's right. But oh my gosh, Joe Biden is targeting now the 1031 tax deferred exchange in his new infrastructure package. This was announced today that the 1031 like-kind exchange will get limited as part of his plan if it passes to any investment gains of under $500,000 or $500,000 and under. So that is, if you have a large multifamily property that you sell and you have gains of more than $500,000, you don't get to 1031 exchange those anymore. Guess what this is going to do to the real estate market, folks? Think about it for a moment. If you can have gains, put on your investor hat for a moment, you're going to see the complete disaster this is about to cause for the housing market. You already think housing's bad? You think it's tough to get a house? It's about to get a whole lot harder. Because guess what happens, folks? At least put your investor hat on for a moment, okay? So let's say you're an investor. And you're like, okay, I can 1031 exchange up to $500,000 of gains a year. Well, would you rather have a $20 million multifamily building, which could appreciate, say, $10 million in value, and if you sell that in 1 year, well, then those $10 million of gains, you'll only be able to 1031 exchange 500,000 of it, which means you'll be paying higher capital gains taxes at that $9.5 million, especially at these extremely, higher corporate capital gains tax rates, not corporate tax rates, capital gains tax rates. If you're making over $1 million a year, you'd be getting taxed a whole lot, which obviously if you were selling a big building, even if you didn't have a huge income, just by the nature of you selling a big building, you'd be taxed at massively higher rates because there would be no long-term capital gains, and you'd have no benefit of a 1031 exchange on larger deals. So guess what, folks? Guess what investors are probably going to do? Well, here's what I would do. In fact, here's exactly what I might do. Instead of buying big multifamily real estate, just buy a crap ton of smaller real estate. In other words, rather than investors spending big dollars to go buy big multifamily buildings, they might now continue to compete with first-time home buyers and smaller real estate buyers by buying up more single-family houses. Why? Well, because obviously, if you buy a $400,000 house, $500,000 of potential 1031 that you can get up to, it takes a lot longer, right? It's got to double and a bit in value. And you could just one-off these. Just do one a year. If you have $500,000 a year that you could 1031, you could literally just take, let's say you had a portfolio of 50 single-family houses. You could just go, every year we'll just sell off the oldest 2 that we have. We'll 1031, and we'll go buy a couple new single families. Literally, all this 1031 exchange rule is going to do, in my opinion, is going to take massive amounts of money, corporate money, investor money, you name it, and funnel it straight into the single family and condo market, because all of a sudden people are going to be wanting that 1031 exchange to defer ever paying taxes on their real estate. Big multifamily just got slapped in the face with this 1031 rule. Now, it's fine if you want to buy a big multifamily deal and you want to get your gains. That's fine. You want to pay taxes on your gains, fine. But for those people who don't want to pay taxes on their gains, this 1031 is a big slap in the face to the big multifamily investors. Keep in mind that in terms of who benefits from these 1031 exchanges, which, just in case you're still not familiar with 1031 exchanges, 1031 exchanges basically means if you've got gains in a property, you can move them to the next property. So you sell your first property, you can move those gains to the next property without you touching the money. An exchange accommodator holds the money, you move the money to the next deal, and you don't pay taxes. That's great because it gives you the opportunity to never pay taxes in real estate. You could just literally exchange, keep trading up on real estate, and then when you die, never pay taxes as you give your children the properties with a stepped up tax basis. It's crazy. So now, focusing on who generally benefits from this, according to figures here by Bloomberg, corporations usually benefit from the 1031 exchange by the tune of $2.3 billion per year. Individuals, so smaller investors, landlords who own 2, 3 buildings, 4 buildings, whatever, small real estate landlords, they're the ones who usually benefit by the tune of $5.7 billion, more than twice what corporations benefit. Yet now, the small landlord is getting shafted with this new plan to limit your 1031 ability to $500,000 per year. I'm pretty sure it's per year. I'll have to double check, but the way this rule so far reads is it implies per year. We don't actually have the text of the law yet, so this is just on the breakdown from Bloomberg here. But wow. The 1031 exchange hit from real estate. This is something people have been rumored to be worried about happening, and now it's coming. Biden is literally coming out with all opportunities to nail investments. There are even some other changes, carried interest, obviously capital gains, corporate tax rate. Everything investment-wise is getting smacked upside the head here. But I'm very, very concerned about what this means for the housing crisis, because you're literally funneling investors into single-family and smaller deals by doing this. You are making it much more desirable to own smaller real estate than big real estate. That, in my opinion, big mistake. If you're going to get rid of the 1031, just get rid of it for all deals. And then there's no preference anymore. But this preference driving is just going to make housing even more unaffordable as more investors clamor to get their hands on more small deal real estate. In my opinion, that $500K limit is a big, fat mistake. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, consider sharing the video. If you do want to learn how to go from zero to millionaire in real estate or learn stocks and psychology of money, check out my programs linked down below. They do expire on May 5th, the coupon code that's available down below. And folks, see you in the next one.